Mitch Marner's second goal of the game came with just 52 seconds left in sudden death overtime and helped the Toronto Maple Leafs complete the comeback, fighting back from a 3-0 deficit to beat the Boston Bruins 5-4 in sudden death here at the Garden. Welcome to Bruins Overtime Live, presented by BuyAToyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit BuyAToyota.com. Dale Arnold, Billy Jaffe, Barry Peterson with you. I'll sum it up for you fellas, because I'm a wordsmith. Ugh.
Yeah. Crushing. You had 2 points, numerous things and numerous opportunities to do certain things with and without the puck. And we talked about going into the third period. We both did about the PK. They ended up getting a goal. And, they couldn't. I mean, when it's all said and done, listen, they'd gotten the lead again. Couldn't hold it at 6-on-5. And they get numerous turnovers, very numerous. And that... it puts you on your heels, both literally and figuratively, right? And then you feel scrambled. Even if you get the puck out of the zone, it's like there's not the confidence that you need to see there. And it's a crushing loss. I know they get a point, but it's still it's a crushing loss.
Yeah, it is. It's emotional, and it was crushing. And you could feel in the building toward the end. You really felt good when you took the lead. Everything we talked about, that end of that second period, kill it off. You don't do that. Okay, they tied up. Then you get the 4-3 lead, and you're going, okay. But to your point, and Brick pointed it out a lot as well, the turnovers occurred too many times when you had the puck on your stick. You had it, and you had an opportunity to make a play. And then the other thing that was happening on those turnovers was you weren't able to make a good change. Now all of a sudden your guys have to stay out there too long, right? And then you can feel it. It's like, just a matter of time before it goes the other way.
Bruins had a 3-1 lead going into the third. Toronto fought back, scored a pair of goals, tied things at 3. Halfway through the third period, though, David Pastrnak scored his second goal of the game, and you thought, okay, maybe they can pull this thing off.
And what a shot. And this is the Bruins did start getting some good shifts at 3-on-3. Turnovers forced, then Pastrnak comes to the front. Barry, watch how he moves his hand, his bottom hand, just a little bit here. I don't know if you can really tell from above, but a real good forecheck by the first pressure, and then here comes second. Pastrnak gets it, and then right here, see how he brings his hand up? He gets the puck on his toe of his stick, but instead of having his hand way low, he brings it up, and that helps elevate it quickly, and it changes, I think, the release point for the goaltender Stolarz to pick up. Here's the Geekie forecheck, and then watch right here again. Here he comes in, he brings the hand up, and he just kind of slings the puck up top.
Yeah, at the same time he's doing that too, Billy. He freezes him right here with his eyes as I'm looking at Patra. Everyone's waiting for him to move the puck over to Potter. He doesn't. Stolarz kind of starts to cheat a little bit to his left. He roofs it.
At that point, the Bruins had a 4-3 lead as David Pastrnak scored his second goal of the game. And he's now got the longest point streak in the NHL this season, up to 15. That is the career longest point streak of his career. Pastrnak scored his 29th and 30th goals of the season, but unfortunately not quite enough. And look, the Bruins felt like they were hanging on by a thread after that. Toronto certainly had the opportunities. Before they tied the game, they had numerous opportunities to do just that.
Exactly. That's what we were talking about. The Bruins get the puck. They can't get it out. Again, it puts everybody back on their heels. And this is actually even before those last 2 minutes or so. You could think, Toronto was like, it's all right. We're going to be all right. They're pushing. Great atmosphere in the crowd, by the way. Here, fans going back and forth. Swayman had to make some big saves as Robertson, arguably their best forward all around tonight. Here, Matthews is going to put one in between the stick, underneath the stick of Zadorov, and then makes a really good shot against Swayman with a solid save.
And a really good example right there of what we're talking about, right? You had the puck down, you had an opportunity to go tape to tape. You don't. Now all of a sudden, as we're going to keep playing that, you could have seen them, they turn it, they go around. You're just chipping it out. You're giving up possession. It's just a matter of time before it comes the other way.
Ty Anderson of 98.5 The Sports Hub has been updating this statistic all season long. Counting tonight, the Bruins 25 times this season have allowed a goal in the final 2 minutes of a period. 25 times this season. The most recent comes from Pontus Holmberg, and the Toronto Maple Leafs tie the game up.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't the top guys out on the ice, Bear. But again, they're pushing it in. Nyes is out there, Robertson is out there, Holmberg's out there, and he just gets to the front of the net. The puck just gets to him, skips to him, and he smokes it upstairs. But again, this was just the result of the Bruins not being able to get the puck. Then they let, here's Zadorov gets to the inside, the skate he kicks the puck up to his stick, and Holmberg is just going to slice it upstairs.
He does a really nice job of kicking this up, doesn't he? Kicks it right from his right foot to his forehand. He gets it. But again, look at, there's 5 Bruins back he didn't eliminate. But just before that, you had 2 or 3 opportunities to make good plays to get Toronto back on their heels a little bit. You're turning over. Now you could just see the guys. It was they were gassed, and you could feel in the building.
Inevitable.
When they turned it was like, oh no, here we go. And you could just feel it coming.
You go to sudden death overtime. You're, in fact, in the final minute of sudden death overtime. A scramble in front of the Toronto net, and unfortunately Mason Lowry doesn't get the goal. Mitch Marner at the other end does.
Yeah, he makes a great play here as he holds on to it, goes across, and you almost think that Stolarz is hurt right there. But Matthews does a good job in the corner. That big body, they're scrambling for it. They're getting it. And now all of a sudden, Matthews just throws it to the area, Billy. He knows that Marner's going to get into it. And this guy, we talk about Pastrnak. Well, this is their guy that's got that talent, and they win it. And we talked about in the pregame, this guy's had 10 points in 3 meetings against the Bruins before this. He had 2 goals tonight, so 12 points in his last 4 games. And we were a little worried. We were a little worried because he hadn't had a point in 3 games, right?
He'd been quiet.
Correct.
In the previous 2 games. See, right there, Lowry, that's maybe, Barry, where you got to stay back. Instead of trying to step up, stay back, keep those guys in front of you. At least give yourself a chance. But Rick talked about how Austin Matthews just swatted it up there. He led the receiver, so to speak. And how about the hands of Marner? He brings the hands down. He settles the puck. Watch right here. He settles it, and then he gets to the quick hands. Swayman can't get to it. He gets beat down. And man, oh man, what a finish. It was a ton of fun. The building was electric, but the finish, not so fun.
No, the other interesting part after this, too, is after he scores the goal, where does he go afterwards?
Right to the goal.
Right to the goaltender and says, good job.
Star of the game presented by Subaru of New England. Fall in love with a brand new Subaru. Who else? Mitch Marner. And I know how great Austin Matthews is. Just based on my experience watching the Bruins against the Leafs, this is the best player on this team, for crying out loud, at least when they play the Bruins. 28 games in his career against the Bruins. 13 goals. 33 assists. 46 points and a plus 13 tonight. A couple of goals, including the game winner in sudden death overtime.
You can ask, any player, sometimes you can't explain why you're so good against a certain team or in a certain building. But his creativity, his competitiveness comes out against the Bruins. He comes through. He assisted on the game-winning goal here at Four Nations, right?
Yep.
So he must be very comfortable playing in this building.
The other thing, too,
again.
those stats are for a long time. Those were against some good Bruins teams, too.
Yep.
You're talking, he's not just doing it against a team not making the playoffs.
Game summary presented by M&T Bank. Together we can. The Bruins outshoot Toronto 36-29. They go 2 for 6 on the power play. Toronto 1 for 4 with a man advantage. Toronto with more hits. By the way, the Bruins were dominating in the faceoff circle early on. Dominating, and it ended up 29-29. More importantly, Toronto beats the Bruins 5-4 in sudden death.